The Dallas Cowboys, does anything really ever change? They let go of Mike McCarthy, but they promoted the offensive coordinator. They didn't make a whole bunch of additions. They did a lot of Dallas Cowboy moves, a lot of Jerry Jones-esque level moves, which has me wondering, what's different about them this season? Is there anything different, or are they just the same old Dallas Cowboys that we've seen on repeat for the past 6 to 7 years of Dak Prescott's tenure as the quarterback? I honestly don't think so, which is why I may be a little frustrated talking about them today, because they have some really good potential. But bad management on the team has left them in a spot that you really question them going forward, and this is a team that probably should be contending for the division title. So let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys today. To start out, we have to talk about their head coaching switch, and it's Brian Schottenheimer. Now listen, if you listen to me, I'm not the biggest Mike McCarthy guy. I thought it was going to be an addition by subtraction losing him. Then they brought in Brian Schottenheimer, and I was like, oh boy, they maybe did the one move that I don't know if is an addition or not outside of hiring a really bad proven head coach. So I don't know what to exactly think about this because I've never been a Brian Schottenheimer guy. I think he has some potential to be a good offensive play caller at moments, but then that all of a sudden disappears and the team regresses. I think the Cowboys are just the exact same coaching staff as last year pretty much, with just new faces. They're going to have this similar philosophy that they did last year, and it's just pretty much Jerry Jones managing the team, and that's not something I'm a fan of, mainly because Jerry Jones is not the early 90s Jerry Jones, Jimmy Johnson. And that's my concern, is that it's just the same thing we've seen on repeat. It's Jason Garrett, it's Mike McCarthy, it's now Brian Schottenheimer. There's no real change. There's no real effort to put in to get a better head coach. And it's shocking with how Jerry Jones is. He's a gambling man. He is oil money. He's not afraid to make the big move, but at head coach, it's felt like for a while, he's too afraid to make a big move. The Dallas Cowboys didn't really sign anyone majorly in the offseason. They lost DeMarcus Lawrence, Jordan Lewis, Brandon Cooks. They lost some players. They even lost Cooper Rush, their reliable backup. They brought in Solomon Thomas, Dante Flower Jr., Javonte Williams, who I really do like that signing. If I had to pick one signing from Dallas I really loved, it was Javonte Williams, because I never felt like he recovered fully in Denver. He's a buy low candidate that can really pop in the right system, and Dallas will be heavily focused on running the football. It's just what they do. But I never got the sense that the Cowboys went out and went all in, to be honest. They just made a lot of simple moves under the radar, but they lost DeMarcus Lawrence, which is very interesting for me because DeMarcus Lawrence could still play football. Obviously not what he once was, but still a talented football player. It will be interesting to see how they replace that production. Now, to talk about the Cowboys draft class, and with these videos, I highlight the first two picks, unless someone else really piques my interest or I can speak on in depth. One of the people I can speak on in depth is Shamar James a lot, because I am a Florida Gators fan. I watched more Florida Gators film than any other team because I watched their games over and over again to analyze them as the season went on. Now, I do watch as many draft prospects as I can, but Gators typically get my eyes and focus. So Shamar James is a guy who's really talented. He's just need a lot of development, and maybe Dallas can work with him. Eberflus, I think, works as a defensive coordinator. We saw that in Indianapolis. He works really good with linebackers. Maybe there's something there with Shamar James, but he is a developmental player, which is what you would expect in a fifth-round pick. Focuses to the first two picks. I want to talk about their second-round pick first because that's the pick I'm way more amped up on. I loved Donovan Ezerdaku in the draft. He, to me, was my guy that somehow gets the production that you just love to see, and the film backs it up. He's a technician. He doesn't necessarily have the best traits in the world. He's not the most athletic guy. He's not the strongest guy. But he's a very intelligent football IQ guy. He knows how to read lanes extremely well, and he knows how to set up moves. When he's making a pass rush move, he builds off of the moves. He'll go for a swim, but he'll use that to set something up later. He's very much a strategical pass rusher. Everything has a reason for him doing it. So if he doesn't post a production in the first half games, don't worry, because his second half games is where he really shines, where he builds off of what he built, setting offensive linemen up to beat them. He's extremely intelligent, and I hope Cowboys fans fall in love with him because I did during the draft process. And now their first pick was Tyler Booker, and Tyler Booker is someone I was up and down on. I saw why teams liked him. He is a big, strong guy that will move people out of the way, and you do have to replace Zach Martin. Zach Martin was the Dallas Cowboys recently. He was their best player on the team, and I love Dak Prescott, but he was their best player because he's the shoo-in Hall of Fame offensive lineman. Tyler Booker has massive shoes to fill, and that's a big cause for concern because he's not ready to fill in those shoes yet. My concern with Booker is how he handles interior speed rush. He is so talented with his power. He will be very dominant when you just need a road grader to clear out a path for your running back. But if you need someone with more finesse to deal with a speed rush from the inside, I think he's going to get beat up quite a bit early on, or maybe forever. He's just not his strong suit, which is okay. If you want to play more power football in general, that's not even a concern because he's so strong, he's just going to push his guy backwards into the ground. And that's something that's very key when you look at Tyler Booker. He cannot do all this fancy handwork to just toss speed guys off or just to handle them in general. He's going to get beat with it. But when you need someone just to put his head down, clear a path, that's Booker, and that's his strength, and that's what the Cowboys need to do to utilize him to his fullest potential. If I had to pick a strength for the Dallas Cowboys, it would be quarterback Dak Prescott. That may be an uncommon take, but Dak Prescott is a really good quarterback. He's a top 10 quarterback in my opinion. And the Cowboys did add George Pickens to CeeDee Lamb in the receiving core. I know I didn't mention the offseason additions because I'm still uncertain if that's a great positive or a great negative. I am a Steelers fan. I saw a lot of the issues with George Pickens, and I saw a lot of the positives. He's a very unpredictable player that's hard for me to say one way or the other. Just know, if he's hitting all cylinders, it's a great move. But if something doesn't go his way, it could sour really fast. The good thing for him is, he's got Dak Prescott. Dak Prescott is a really good quarterback that, yes, he has turnover issues time for time. But you know why? Because he's pushing the ball downfield. Something wide receivers tend to love. CeeDee Lamb works phenomenally well with Dak Prescott because Dak Prescott will force the ball downfield to him. And you look at this Cowboys offense as a whole, if Dak Prescott struggles or God forbid, he gets injured again, their team's done for. Dak Prescott is their biggest strength. Now, biggest weakness, they're the same old Cowboys. Like, they have talent. They have Micah Parsons. They have Dak Prescott. They have CeeDee Lamb. But you look at that coaching staff, it doesn't really inspire a whole bunch of confidence. You look at just this entire team, offensive line, very young. You don't really know how they're going to gel as a unit. They have to replace Zach Martin. You don't really know all about George Pickens. He's very erratic. He is a Jerry Jones buy-in player. Then you look at their defense. There's just a lot of questions there. Their linebackers you question. Their secondary you question. How are they going to handle Matt Eberflus? It's a new system. It's going to be a lot of interesting developments throughout the season with the Dallas Cowboys. They may very much struggle in the beginning half of the season. I still think they are a good team that will turn on as the season progresses, that will most likely end up in a wildcard spot. So where I had the Cowboys finishing, I actually had them finishing second in the division, and that might be controversial because one team is very much loved and I'm not buying into them this year. But the Cowboys to me just are a better version of the team I'm not mentioning yet. Because they have their holes, but I trust Dak because I've seen the NFL longer. I trust their receiving core because CeeDee Lamb I view is just a better player. And I just overall think the Cowboys are just a better overall team. I have less question on their defense because I know at the very end of the day, Micah Parsons is going to come through, destroy an offense lineman, and get a sack. And that is a key theme when I look at a team is who can make the plays on both sides of the ball. Micah Parsons can make a play happen every single play. He's that special of a talent, and he's about to get paid a lot of money. And I just don't necessarily know if the other team in the division has that capability. So the Cowboys, I have finishing second place and most likely being a wildcard team this season. Thanks so much for watching this video. If you like this video, hit that like button. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button. If you want to come back, enjoy more 32 teams in 32 days. I am uploading a season team preview 32 days in a row, alphabetical order. Up next is the Denver Broncos. And we're just going to continue on. You want to check out some other ones? This is alphabetical order. Yesterday, at the time of this upload would have been the Cleveland Browns. You want to check that out. I was extremely positive about the Browns' direction. I know, shocking words to say. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.